Now we are at the global configuration mode of a router. So here we can configure the host name. To configure the host name, we can give the command host name and any name that we want to display in place of a router. So let's say I write it's a router 01 floor 1, and when I click enter, then as you can see now router 1 floor 1 has been displayed instead of router. So with this, I mean, using this you can provide the router with a proper host name so that you can remember its location as well as its number. Okay, now let's say if you want to remove the host name, so you have to apply the command no host name. When you give, as you can see now the host name is again replaced with the router, right? So you can use this command if you want to again rename your host name with the default name. Okay, now we see that how we can set the banner in a router configuration. So banner is sometimes known as a banner MOTD, which is message of the day, and it is a login banner that displayed at the time of login. So to do that, first we give the command enable, we reach to the privilege execution mode, then we give the command conf t so that we can reach to the global configuration mode, and here we can give command banner MOTD then $sign to start our message that hello from router, and $sign to complete the message. So the message that we have typed in between the two $signs will become visible at the time of login of this router. So I enter. As you can see now banner has been set up. So exit to come out from the third mode. So now I am at the second mode. Again I write the exit to come out from the second mode. So now I will be at the beginning. So when I enter, as you can see here, you will find out the hello word from router. Means that whatever the message you have typed in the banner, it's available here. Okay, now next we want to set the history size. Now history is actually the number of commands that we have given previously. So first if I write, let's say show history, it will list out the command that I have given previously, but in my case this is only one command which I have right now given. Okay, so if let's say I give enable to go into the second mode, once again I write down the show history. So as you can see now there are 3 commands previously I have given and it is now listed. Okay, so by default if you want to see that how many previously given commands we can show, then we have to write down show terminal. When we write down the show terminal, as you can see here the history size, I mean history is enabled and history size is 10. It means that maximum we can display the 10 previously given command, and if we think it's not enough, then definitely we can set its size. Okay, so to set the history size we need to write down terminal history size and the number that we want. So let's say I want to increase the size from 10 to 25. I will provide the number 25 and then enter. So the history size is now increased to 25. If you want to verify, we can again show terminal. So now our changes is been made and the history is enabled. History size is 25 we are getting. Okay, now next we talk about saving the current configuration of a router. See, we are writing a lot of commands, right, for the router configuration, and if we will not save it properly, then it may happen that when router restart we may lose all the configurations that we have done. So it is necessary that we save our current configuration. So the first command is show running config, or in short you can write down show run. When you apply this command, it will show you the current running configuration of this router, right? So as you can see the current configuration file is there, which has a 661 bytes of a data in it. The version 15.1 is the iOS version. No service password encryption, the host name is still a router, and many more. So if you see, it will show you all the current configuration in this particular file. Okay, now what we want is that we want to save this configuration file into NVRAM. NVRAM stands for non-volatile RAM. So we will try to first copy this running configuration into the NVRAM, but the file in NVRAM is called startup configuration. So like running configuration, if I write like startup config, which is a file stored in NVRAM, if I try to show, it tells me that startup configuration is not present, as we have not copied our running configuration anytime. So right now the startup configuration file is empty. Okay, so now let's copy our running configuration into startup configuration. Now this is a very important command, and it will copy your running configuration file which is in RAM to startup configuration file which is in NVRAM. Okay, now when we enter, it asks me destination file name if you want to change, but let's say we do not want to change it, so I will simply enter one more time, and as you can see, the building configuration is okay. So our running configuration file is successfully copied into the startup configuration file. And now one more time, if we want to look now, so startup config, earlier it has shown that it's not present, but now as we have copied, we are getting the same file like running configuration. Okay, now advantage of copying the running configuration file into startup configuration file is, now if the router restart, then we can get all our configured commands as it is and all our configurations as it is, right? So it's very important command, and whenever you are configuring your router, please make sure that you copy your running configuration to startup configuration frequently.